Now, the layer of fat on the face is comprised of a bunch of compartments, and those are going to be all of these that we can see right there. All of these are going to be the ones that we want to pay attention to. So in reality, the head or the face has some more than this, so I'm ignoring quite a bit and I'm simplifying some of them. So around the eyes, there's actually where you see the split here. This indicates 3 different regions instead of a big one like I've drawn it. But when it comes to drawing the face and when it comes to all the big shapes, the big fat compartments that are going to really affect the silhouette of the face and the volumes, this is going to be it. So let's take a look at them in some more detail. So this is going to seem a little bit scary, but like everything else, once you're familiar with them, it really makes a lot more sense when you look at people, when you look at, maybe like older people and how their face is deformed compared to when they were younger, or when you look at people that have more body fat, especially in their face, how the fat is distributed is all based on this. So it's not going to be random. And if you want to make somebody fat, somebody look fat, or somebody look older, those are all things that you really need to know. Starting from the top here, around the eye, and this is going to be enclosed in the eye socket, so to protect the eyeball. And those are going to be 2 big fat pads here. So we'll have the superior orbital fat at the top and the inferior orbital fat at the bottom. And like I've mentioned briefly, this line right there. This is going to be the line separating this and actually 2 smaller portions. We're not going to look at those individually because it really doesn't affect the silhouette much, or it doesn't affect much at all when we're drawing it or painting it. This is going to be more this is going to be knowledge that's more important for like doctors if you do facial surgery and things like that. In our cases, just knowing that there's a fat pad at the top and the bottom of the eyeball is going to be plenty information, plenty enough. Moving down, we have all the cheek fat. So all the cheek fat pads, we are going to have kind of like this triangle shape right under the inferior orbital fat, which is going to be called the medial cheek fat. Then we have right to the side of the face the middle cheek fat, and all the way to the side the lateral cheek fat. We can take a look here what it looks like from the side. So this is going to be by far the biggest group of fat pads once you combine them all. From the front it doesn't look like that, but from the side view here you can see that it actually occupies quite a big portion of the face. And those are going to be some of the most visible when you age. Now moving down, we'll have the superior and inferior jowl fat. So this is going to be those 2 little balls right there. They're not really balls, but those 2 little compartments here. Again, this is not going to be visible unless you're old. And then at the bottom here, this is going to explain also why somebody has a kind of like a double chin. So this is going to be the premental and the submental fat. So we'll have kind of like the chin part here, the rounder shape, laying right onto the chin. And that's going to maintain its shape if you get really, really fat. But what will expand, so normally you'll have kind of like a square chin like this, and you would have that premental fat right there. Underneath this area right here would be where the submental fat will accumulate, or where the submental fat compartment will expand. And this is going to give you that double chin look. If you look at it from the front, you will have your mouth right here. So that would be kind of like your neck fat right there. And this can get quite big. Now there's one more that we haven't seen yet, and this is going to be the nasolabial fat. And this is going to be that one right here, starting kind of like at the top of your nostril and then going down towards the corner of your mouth. And that one is going to be important, especially because it also indicates kind of the nasolabial line, which is going to be this red line right here. If we look at this nice gentleman right here, this is going to be that famous line here that almost everybody has, and that you'll definitely find on people that are older. So those are going to be all the different fat pads that are going to really influence the face of a person. One thing that's important to know when it comes to those fat pads is that when you're younger, they're going to be really full. So they're going to all touch each other and it'll look like almost like a single shape, a single pad. But as you get older, as age takes its toll, those fat pads are actually going to shrink a little bit. So they'll shrink and they'll drop quite a bit. So this is going to mean that the separation between the fat pads suddenly is going to be more visible. So all that black here is going to be kind of kind of a hole now, especially when they drop and when the skin loses its elasticity and when they can't kind of support the fat quite as well as before. So when those are all shrinking and dropping, this is when you'll start to see the sign of aging. Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching. So this was only 5 minutes out of the anatomy class for term 2 of art school. And term 2 on its own is about 10 hours, and term 2 is only one of 10 terms. So you can imagine how much is packed into this course. If you liked it, definitely check out the full class. You can find it in the description below, a link to my store. And once again, thank you so much for watching. I'll see you guys next time.